Us right there. So you can sit here and admire yourself while we do this.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey everyone. So it's Rex and Chris here down at Iowa Strength. So this is StrengthCast episode 22 for us. So thank you for joining us on the 22nd episode of our humble little podcast. So Rex has been someone that I've known for a long time, and he mentioned that he has been, kind of following along our podcast journey, and he had a really interesting topic that he wanted to discuss today with everyone. And so I invited him on so we could discuss it. But before we get started with that, I do have a couple icebreaker questions to ask you. So question number one. So these are very just casual questions, just kind of like unrelated to fitness for the most part. So the first question is covering condiments. So if you had to pick your choice, do you prefer ketchup or mustard?
Ketchup.
You like ketchup? Okay.
Yes.
Are there any other condiments that you prefer over ketchup?
Ketchup.
Okay. Very adamant on that one. Awesome. So if you had a choice, what would your last meal be?
A pizza.
Pizza. Okay.
Yeah.
I should have known that one. Now, I know you and Gene used to come to Independence and, basically, what was it, every Saturday night?
Yeah.
And have pizza?
Yeah.
Now that Pizza Hut is closed, do you guys continue that tradition?
No.
You haven't been doing it?
No.
Oh, darn. That's too bad. I think I know the answer to this next question too. Would you consider yourself a morning or a night person?
More morning now.
Okay. Yeah.
I used to be night.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of twist that around. So
yeah. I would say, I know, you tend to get up pretty early and stuff, and I think you get to work pretty early as well. So, but you also messaged me at like 9 o'clock last night when we were discussing the podcast, which I was kind of surprised you got back to me so quick. Another kind of odd question. So what side of the bed do you sleep on?
if I'm on my back, left side.
Okay. Gotcha. Always, never changes?
No,
Never changes. Yep. Okay. I'm on the right side, and that's I'm very adamant. I don't know why I've always slept on the right side of the bed. Now, is that do you sleep is that facing or away from the door? Is it closer to the door?
I sleep my side facing the door.
Okay. I like that.
Got my back problem. I can't lay flat out. I have to lay on my side.
Yeah.
So that's more comfortable.
Yeah,
so.
I could see that. Okay. Do you prefer books, movies, TV shows?
Probably TV shows.
TV shows? Okay. Any particular TV show that you like?
No. We don't have cable, so it's pretty limited.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, we don't. Yeah. Cable, in my opinion, cable's too expensive. We use Hulu or YouTube where our podcast is on, but that's about all we really ever watch. So, but last question here. Besides anything gym or fitness related, do you have any particular hobbies that you like to do outside of, gym or fitness?
I like to build not buildings anymore, houses, but just I have an outdoor facility, like a nature center type, animal habitat.
Oh, really?
Beside where the old former outdoor gym used to be.
Oh, okay. That's really cool.
A lot of tree stump stuff, and then we're doing something brand new out there that few people know about it, but we're putting in somewhat of a Jurassic Park.
Okay.
I bought 5 dinosaurs. There's 4 8-footers and a baby one. And we got Jurassic Park signs we're going to put on the fence. So
that's really cool.
Got an area with some stumps and a rope kind of roped off. So I think when kids go by in the highway with their parents, go, look at their dad or mom just use dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's really neat.
So it's cool. Kind of, I got the baby one out there now and then just doing behind the scenes stuff. So
okay.
It's still building something.
Yeah.
I just gotta.
Yep. Just tinkering.
Yeah. That's why I go out there a lot in my spare time. I do have it and just pushing logs around, stacking them or whatever. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Before we just come here, we just went over the Independence tree dump. I don't come in Independence unless we do a drive through the Independence tree dump.
Yeah, fair.
So I'm a pretty boring guy.
I would disagree with that, but yeah, you seem like the kind of person that I feel like it might be a little bit difficult for you to sit still or relax. It seems like you're always working on something. Or if I'm going through like usually if I'm driving through Jessup, excuse me, like to go to the bank or something like during business hours, I feel like or even actually probably more so after business hours, I feel like I see you either in your Bobcat or like jutting around or something on your side by side. It always looks like you're off on a mission doing something. But no, that's awesome. So um, so we'll kind of get right into the topic that you wanted to discuss, and if I remember correctly, I'll try to introduce it, but correct me if I say it wrong. So, you know, our podcast, has kind of been geared, I would say, a little bit more towards not younger generation, not like super young, but like people probably like, late 20s, like early to mid 30s, people that, maybe still kind of earlier in their lifting career that might still be, working on hypertrophy or strength building and things like that. And you kind of brought up to me that it'd be, something really beneficial to discuss on how you would modify or look to modify your training as you get older and as you age. Would that be correct? Okay.
Yeah, with age, we all know this. With age, things change, and I just always encourage everybody to not give up. I used to do 30-pound dumbbells this way or 100-pound dumbbells this way. Well, that was 10 years ago or 5 years ago, but here's today. Injuries. People's lives just change in different directions, but don't quit.
Yeah,
and I try to encourage people, because some people just say, well, I don't have time, and just do something.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still push-ups. There's just a lot of people like to walk, and the people who just like to run all the time, they will have to walk sometime. Their knees will say, I just can't run like I used to. Well, don't quit. I know you love to run, but you got to walk now. That's boring. It's still exercise and mobility. We all know that, but I just see a lot of people, they don't know what to do next.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, an object in motion stays in motion. If you go from we're living a very active lifestyle to dropping down to a very sedentary lifestyle, then that can have a lot of negative consequences, not just on your cardiovascular health or organ health, things like that, but it could, like really limit your joint health as well and your mobility.
Yeah.
So is there any examples in particular that you'd like to give as far as like what you've done personally? Like, like you used to do a lot of strength building and things like that, and then, you've modified it as you've aged and whatnot.
Yeah, I just, I got more in the cardiovascular, like I have a rower. And what I like about it, you're sitting down, of course, but it takes your body weight off your legs. So you're saving your legs instead of doing something standing up, like walking or something. And still a lot of good exercise doing the rows and a bike. You do a bike and stuff. When I was weightlifting, I never did that because I didn't really have to, or it wasn't time, I guess. I did construction. I just tried to train at night. So I did kind of pinch it down a little bit, and that had to go. But
fair enough.
But I think it's just very important for the heart, and it's done wonders for me. I mean, because I've gone from 14 years old to 70. I was 70 2 weeks ago. Yep. And there's people live a lot longer than 70. But I've had about 56 years of doing different things, adjusting, good points, held on some, but tried not to quit. And there's not a playbook that says, okay, here's what you got to do next. It just doesn't. Yeah. You just got to have a gut feeling and just do it. I mean, back in the Jessup Gym days, we had a customer, more from Manchester. His name was Bob, a nice older gentleman. Just always treated the girls and wife real nice, polite. And he was probably in his 70s, and he's always trying to buy something. He's just trying to keep going. He says, if I'm down to 10 pounds or 5 pounds, he said, I'm still going to try it. He's just a nice, slow-talking man, and I always stuck with me because Bob didn't give up. And he said, if I get them in 5 pounds, I guess I do, because I'm not going to quit.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? His name was Bob Shaw, and just a nice man. And I always remember that. Like, you know what? I'm going to be like Bob Shaw.
Wow. Yeah.
Just not quit. Yeah. And just adjust. So the heaviest dumbbells I use anymore, I do a lot of flies on just 12 pounds. Mm-hmm. And I do some other things, but I just don't want to get hurt again. And I just kind of more fitness training and just something I can do. Mm-hmm. And don't worry about what something weighs. Like, well, you only need 12-pound dumbbells. yeah, that's what I want to do because I do other stuff, you know. And you gotta get rid of that ego thing and think, no, this is what I need to do.
Yeah.
So
I think a really good athlete in general, and it doesn't matter if you're, you know, an Olympic weightlifter, a power lifter, a strongman, bodybuilder, regardless, like, you know, you can make just about anything work. It doesn't matter on the weight. I mean, obviously, like if it's too heavy, you can't make that work without compromising form and your health. But, you know, if you only have access to 12-pound dumbbells or 20-pound dumbbells, like you can get a heck of a good workout out of that. You know, you if it's too light for you, you slow down your cadence, you do more reps.
yeah.
And you know, yeah, it may not be within that desired rep range that you would like to do, but you can still get a heck of a good workout out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So it's just good for your cardiovascular too to kind of go an extra longer time than just a single. Just doing a heavy single. That doesn't really build muscle so much, that heavy single. It's the reps builds up to it, and that's your final your final result is how much you can do with this, but building up to it is like, you know, just the practice and stuff. So, but no, fitness. We first started selling the stuff probably back in 1980s. I mean, everybody thought, okay, it's just a fad. You're in a fad. You know, but I thought, no, I think it's a way of life because it's kind of slowly. It was pretty flat back then. There wasn't much, but it's not a fad. It's a way of life.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah, and I feel like you really blazed the trail there with bringing it to this area. But yeah, I mean, so you know, you mentioned the 12-pound dumbbells that you use, and I know back, you know, a couple years ago you had that leverage incline press that you used, and I think you ended up selling that.
I wasn't hurt, but I was just I didn't want to get hurt because I wasn't. I like to do heavier weight than that, so I just kind of took it away from myself. So that sounds weird, but
well, I mean, I know I can't remember if it was for your birthday. That no, I don't think it was for your birthday because I was in competition prep and I think it was closer to the summer. But it was you and I think it was Kyle, right? Was it Kyle that was there? You invited me over one time.
Kyle Moon,
yeah, Kyle Moon. Thank you,
Kyle Moon.
Super nice guy.
Yeah.
And you know, it was you and Kyle, and you were like, "Hey, like we're gonna see like how many reps we can do." And I knew you had a goal set in mind, and I had already done a chest workout that morning because I was in prep for a bodybuilding show, and so I know like Sarah and I went over that afternoon to do it, and man, I got humbled really fast.
Well, you already worked out. We had it. So.
Well, not just that. I mean, I was also again, you know, all excuses aside, but like even if I was peak off season, peak strength, there was absolutely no way I was going to keep up with you guys. Like,
well,
there was no way.
We practiced it for so long. That was the thing, and
and it was just it was a really fun experience because like, you know, and I went to Jessup Gym, you know, and I worked out there and stuff a handful of times, but we started this pretty early in my lifting career because I got started late. And so it was just really cool to be able to like share that moment with you. But
yeah, we did a lot of contests. Like the one year we had the Upper Iowa football team come down, about 10, 12 of them.
Yeah.
And we just all lifted together. And just one of the players was Brian Sadler, was from Jessup. So kind of talked to him about getting the guys come down and stuff. And that was we just had a good time.
Yeah.
We did the leverage incline press because it was something everybody could do. And but that was a blast. We just did different things, and
yeah, definitely. So you got rid of the leverage incline press, and then you ended up getting that Body Solid functional trainer, and then I think you end up selling that too?
Yeah, because you know you've seen where I work out in my former office. I work for Home Indeed. I'm a warehouse manager, so I had to kind of shrink down. I didn't have to, but I just thought someday what's the kids are going to do. So I was trying to just shrink down than more compact. So, but I did some good workouts and I feel real good, and just trying to keep more of the cardiovascular and just kind of shifted gears more or less. So
yeah, definitely. So would you say, like, since you're not using the leverage press, you're not really using the, you know, functional trainer as much, Do you still feel like, even though you've modified your equipment and your exercises, are you still getting as good of a workout as you
I
did
think
before?
so.
Yeah.
Just not the heavier weight, of course.
Yeah. And you've
But
still been able to maintain like a good amount of strength, even
Yeah.
though you haven't
Yeah.
been doing that.
Yeah, not like it was, but I'm older too. That's the thing. So it's kind of it's just the way the cards are dealt sometimes,
Yeah. No,
But
absolutely.
I still like lifting. I just still like, Gene and I, on the basement, we put a few things in our basement there because we're just got limited time. She works, I work, and so we did sit down there this morning. What did I do this morning? Oh, I did my leg extension, and I'm down to the most I do in the leg extension is 40 pounds. 40,
Mm-hmm.
40. Girls do 150. But I had a knee problem. But I had bad knee pain this summer. Couldn't hardly have a tough time walking there. But I kept doing my leg extensions. I was doing 55 pounds, dropped down to 40. Must have been the magical thing. Now my knees just feel like night and day.
Yeah.
But I didn't quit. I just adjusted. So I feel it's very important to keep doing that kind of stuff. So,
yeah.
But I've done this a lot of different things. I just tried to. But I think if people can do stuff that they're capable of doing, me, if you go to a gym, this guy here has been working out for 3 years. Guy looks good, or she looks good, the lady, nice lady. That ain't gonna happen overnight. And we're just warm up 225 or something. I'll try that. No, you should pull back a little bit. They've been doing it for quite a while, and then somebody does get hurt. It feels, oh God, doing that again. Then they just quit. Don't be afraid to start out something and say, I'm here for fitness training. I mean, you can think what you want to. Yeah. I'm not afraid to say the 12-pound dumbbells, I have them on my desk, so I just do exercise with them and do some rows. And I do fitness, little circuit doing stuff.
And, and going back to the person that, gets hurt or gets discouraged. I mean, that's something I'm sure both of us have seen a handful of times. And I don't know about you, but at least for me, it's something that like it almost hurts me to see someone give up on themselves so quick. And not in like our gym is membership based, and it's like, okay, someone gets hurt and then all of a sudden they disappear. And then like I think about those people even though they're not coming in. And like sometimes I'll reach out, sometimes I'll just give them their space because I really don't know what their situation is, and I want to respect their privacy. But sometimes you just never see those people. So it's like, okay, you might see their friend in here. It's like, oh, what happened to so and so? And they're like, oh, well, they got hurt, or oh, well, they just kind of, they didn't feel like they were seeing the progress that they wanted to see, and so they just kind of stopped. It's like, oh man, like dang, that hurts, because it's like, it almost be nice if they would, come and talk and let's have a discussion. It's like, maybe I will never claim to be an expert, but maybe we can kind of brainstorm some ideas, and and I can try to do, at least anything in my power to try to like either encourage or motivate them, for one, and for two, maybe give them some tips or advice. But and sometimes the advice works and sometimes it doesn't work. So and I try not to do, hand out too much unsolicited advice, because I don't want to overstep or step on people's toes and things like that. But
if somebody's fighting around injury, I encourage nobody to get hurt. Like just, if you're skeptical about it or just don't feel comfortable, talk to your doctor. I'm not a doctor, never said it was. I just try and tell people, just try this or that, try and adjust a little bit. And if they're going nowhere, but don't get hurt. I mean, I never encourage somebody to just, what happens. No, just, but sometimes people, a little bit of pain shows up and I got to save my shoulder or something. I get it. If you got to go to the job next day and do to work, I can't just slough off. I have to work tomorrow. I get that part, of course. But sometimes that's people's excuses too.
No. Yep. Yep. Yeah. I couldn't have said it any better either. It's just, it's, you are your own biggest, obstacle when it comes to your health goal, or any kind of goal, really, in that matter. It's a lot of it starts up here in the mindset that you approach it.
Yeah.
And so, but no, that's great. And I kind of want to kind of backtrack. So, did you I know every year around your birthday you have a goal, and I feel bad because I want to apologize because I had full intentions on reaching out and seeing if you wanted to do some kind of competition again, like we did in December last year, like the kettlebell press competition. Time just completely got the best
I know.
and I I had full intentions, and then like all of a sudden it pops up on Facebook. Hey, it's Rex Reinhart's birthday.
Oh,
I was like, oh no, I meant to do like see if you want to do a competition again.
I want to. I had AFib again in August.
Oh no, okay.
Pretty good. I was in the hospital 3.5 days.
Gosh, I'm sorry.
And I lost my mojo. I kept working out, but I lost my. I'm still not quite back where I was. I mean, I'm still fighting the heart issue stuff. So
okay, yeah.
But where would I like to pass away? At a gym. That's the way I want to go. I don't want to.
Well, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I always tell people it's like if not sorry, not to try to change gears and make kind of talk about something gruesome, but like with my hip replacement, it's like when I'm doing a heavy leg session, it's like sometimes I'm like, man, like has anyone like broke their hip replacement like out of the femur? And I asked my wife that, and she's like, yeah, it can happen, but it's not likely. And I'm like, what would happen? She's like, you might bleed out pretty quick because you're breaking your femur. And I was like, so I'll joke. I've joked around people. I'm like, if you see me dead on the floor, make sure whatever exercise I was doing, you just add a couple more 45-pound plates. Just
for the picture.
Yep, take pictures. I'm like, just know that I died doing what I love.
Yeah.
And just move on. Auction everything off. And
fair enough.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Fair enough. So
no, that's great. So do you have any, as you continue to age and get older, like what are some personal goals that you have for yourself now, with your health and your fitness?
I still set goals all the time for myself, and I write stuff down all the time. When I got to work out, I just on a piece of scratch paper, make a check mark or something. It holds me accountable. When I do my rows, I do 30 minutes a day in my rower. And I might do 4 minutes. I write down 4. Then I get up and do some curls. I get a little circuit train. I come back, and then sometimes I get distracted from something. I come back, and 20 minutes later, then how many did I do? I write it down.
You sound like me.
It kind of holds you accountable.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to cheat myself. That's how you're going to cheat yourself. So that helps me a lot. And I just can see where I'm at, and then, okay, I got 12 more minutes. And sometimes I'll do 12 minutes, but I like to break it up a little bit and get up and down, move around. That's worked real good for me.
Yeah. So you just kind of want to continue that cadence and being able to do your cardio and do your weight training and things. Awesome.
Yeah. Just whatever I can do, and but we did a lot of just different contests over the year, and we had the Jessup Gym. We flipped tires out in the parking lot one year. And, we just did some odd things.
But yeah, those odd things are fun because, and you say it's odd, but it's just like, it's really neat. It's interesting. It's cool because like, it's something that not a lot of people, it's unconventional, it's not like, all right, what's the heaviest bench press you can do? Or what's the heaviest squat you can do? It's like, no, like, it's showing true athleticism to be able to grab what was your heaviest tire that you guys flipped?
I think they were 200 pounders.
Yeah, I mean,
because they had teams. So that year, Kyle Brett and Eric Zook won.
Okay,
we had charts. Out in the parking lot, and kind of the weight classes and stuff. Everything was always free. It was always free. That way, people would come and stuff. We checked it off and marked and paint in the parking lot and stuff, and just that kind of stuff. But one years we had, I think I was 55 years old. We had a incline challenge press, so you put on the radio like, come beat a grandpa, don't let grandpa beat you, type thing. And the name of it that won back when we sold the 3D. That's something. I think it was 3D. I'm saying that right. And anybody that beat me.
Oh, like the Jack 3D?
Yeah.
Oh, the pre-workout?
Was it called Jack?
The
Jack 3D.
The pre-workout powder? Oh man, yeah, that was one of the first.
Was it Jack 3D?
Yeah, that was like the first pre-workout I ever bought from you.
Yep. Anybody that beat me, they got a free bottle of Jack. We had people come all over.
Yeah.
And our friend Paul from Galena, that's when I first met him.
Paul Harris.
Yeah, Paul Harris came over. And then, he's here last year, we had the kettlebell contest show, but just come over there and stuff. And everybody got, guys just met guys. It was always free and stuff. And so just brought them in because you always remember odd things, something different. It's like a person, if they live a real calm, legal life, which is wonderful. What was that guy's name? But the character that run bareback through a crowd or something, everybody remembers him.
Yeah.
And but we had some good times doing that kind of stuff. It was always fun and just met a lot of different people. Try and encourage something to get involved and always,
and it just the impact you're able to make on so many people, and that's just like that's something that I will say like some of our members will actually like kind of put me in check sometimes because it's like I'm just like, oh, I'm just here, I'm just hanging out, I'm just kind of running a gym, I'm not really doing a whole lot. And like I'll have members that are like, no, like you're just like you did, I mean even tenfold compared to what I'm doing, but like you're just like, people will say like you're actually making a difference, like you're facilitating a place, and it's just like try to I kind of look at everyone that walks through our gym as a friend, like because it's just like this is a very this is kind of a place where people are very vulnerable, and like they trust me enough to share that vulnerable moment with them.
Sure.
Something that's just really, really humbling. And it's really special.
Yeah.
To be able to do something like that. And also it's like one of the most, and you can speak on this more than I can, but it's like one of the most rewarding things to be able to see someone that, let's say maybe someone's overweight and has a weight loss goal, or maybe someone like it was like how I was, still kind of am, and they're just scrawny, scrawny, got picked on, and they wanted to kind of boost their self-confidence and build up their own confidence and get stronger and put on a little bit of muscle mass and feel better about themselves.
And one of the biggest things I saw in our time, we started a business, and the husband was buying a product. He had the wife come along. They just, the husband bought stuff for himself. And then after a few years, when the women started getting involved, it was huge. Pretty soon, okay, I'm getting some numbers myself. What size you want? Oh, I'd take some 10s, 12s, 15s, 20s or something. And she got involved. And then at the latter part, there was many couples come in. The husband just stood there and the wife got something.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it do a complete turnaround. And it's really, and it's like the girls wrestling right now.
Yeah.
They come out of nowhere. So cool. My goodness, we got the high school wrestling girls, and they got involved in wrestling and stuff. And it's fun to see. The ladies are a huge part of the fitness. Huge.
Yeah. And it's so one of the things I'll hear on occasion is like, we'll have like a boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband, wife, or even like let's say a male member in general. They'll buy like a tub of protein, or they'll buy like a pre-workout or something. And then I'll see them like a week later and they're buying it again. And I'm like, dang, you went through that fast. They're like, oh yeah, like my wife or my girlfriend, like they started taking it too, and they absolutely loved it. They're like, well, where'd you get this at? And it's like, oh, I got it out of strength. Or, it's like, they're like, oh, you better go back and get more of it. I really like that. So, and then later on, then the significant other will start coming in and then like checking out, like, well, what else do they have? Or what else do they offer? So, and it's really cool that we're in a day and age that like, at least when we started originally, it was like, I hate to say it this way, but it was pretty much all men.
Yeah.
And it was almost like more of like a guys club, versus like, I think that was the gym culture in general, is like, it was predominantly, 90% males, if not higher percentage than that. And then now I'll walk in here in the morning and I'm the only guy here for like 2 hours. Yeah. And it's like, this is awesome. It's just because like at least for me, like I grew up with a single mom and she was very strong, very independent. And it's like, so I like to see those strong, independent women actually in here as well as, and they're working on them, taking the time to work on themselves. They have kids, they have other, they have jobs and other responsibilities, but they're still taking that hour or so for themselves to actually work on their own, health and trying to improve their quality of life.
Yeah, women are just involved so much. It's a huge industry. and they don't seem to quit as often as sometimes the guys do.
You got that right.
The women just there's some ladies out there that are in very, very fine shape. And they love doing it, and I commend them because one time they fought that obstacle because I'm sure a guy says this is for men. Well, look out because it has get a knuckle sandwich. I mean, you see a lot of women they do my hat's off to them. They thought, you know what, we're going to lift too, and then.
And like the joke that you made earlier about like women doing 120 pound leg extensions is like that couldn't be closer to the truth because we've got a hip thrust machine in here, so it's for your butt. It's a glute machine, and excuse me, I'm sorry. And like I remember, like this was a while ago, maybe like a year or so ago, but I had that in my program on my posterior day, my back day, and I did some hamstrings, and I finished kind of with like the hip thrust. I'm like, all right, this is going to kind of help like a lockout of a deadlift. My glutes are a little bit weak anyway, so let's try to work on that. Well, my wife was also following me. Like we were doing different workouts, but we were training the same thing that day. And I was on the hip thrust and I was finishing up and I was like, so she's like, all right, I want to use this. I'm like, okay. I'm like, yeah. I started taking the plates off and I was like, what would you like for the weight? And she's like, this is my warm up. And I'm like, oh, thanks. Cool. And we'll say she's a little bit more blessed in the posterior region than I am. And so, yeah, it's just like, oh wow. Like it was very, very humbling.
Yeah.
And I still can't, I mean, I had a knee injury, like, a little bit ago anyway. So it's like, I definitely can't do nearly as much as I was before. So she's far, far exceeded me, which I love seeing that because like, she was like, when we first met, she was more of a runner. She didn't work out. And then she saw me lifting and I never wanted to like push her into working out or into the gym. It's like, if she wants to, I'll encourage it. I'll help her or whatever, but I'm not going to be like, hey, like I work out, you have to work out. And, but she wanted to get started working out and yeah, now she's, just as dedicated as anyone, and sometimes she's the one that's pushing me in here too.
Yeah. And, definitely. That's, it's good to see. It's just wonderful.
Yeah. And Seth, Seth is my training partner now. So we work out, 3-4 days a week together, but he's in Idaho at a real estate conference now. And so like, Sarah's like, so you don't have Seth today, huh? And I'm like, She's like, what are we lifting this morning? I was like, okay. And, she pushed me. She's like, she's like, you got it.
That's wonderful. It's just, it's just so funny to see things, not funny, just things change. How all of a sudden, like I used to make fun of you, now the ladies is just as get involved and how things change. That's just like the adjustment. Just people got to learn to shift gears. And if you're not sure, just reach out and ask somebody or what you feel. But just don't quit. Quitting's too easy. Quitting's too easy. But it does help with your. And look at more and more people or the doctors say you need to do some exercise. They probably always talk that way at a certain point, but now there's so much available, Chris. My guy, what you have here, the cardiovascular equipment, the weight equipment. My guy, if somebody can't find something, it's you. You don't want to,
Yeah.
Back in the years, we made power acts out of 2x4s, lumber, bench. I mean, it's all we had. I mean, we go to meets and stuff. There wasn't the bumper plates. We were just starting to get bumpers back in the late 70s. We go to Iowa State, Ames. They'd call, hey, who's got bumpers? And I had some bumper plates. Can you bring them along? So we took weights with us all the time. Because you get on Iowa City in the field house, they had a lot of irons, but not bumpers. It just wasn't Warburg College in Waverly. They had a weight room at one time. People have got twice as much in the basement as what they had. Now the W up there, I mean, my God, I saw when they first we had a bench press meet up there, and we took the benches and weights because they didn't have them. We took them along with us and stuff. My gosh, things have changed. Such nice, good equipment too. People can just do something, just nice stuff.
Yep. And I like what you said, like about people being able to do something with just about anything, and I mean that goes, and you kind of mentioned this off camera earlier, but what about those that don't maybe they're a little bit intimidated to go to a gym, or they don't have the finances for it, or there's something of that nature. Like, you think that they can find something at home to do as well. Yeah.
I started in my parents' basement, and now I'm kind of end up in my basement.
Yeah.
I kind of
Full circle.
Yeah. It's just funny how I had a lot nicer stuff I do now than I had back then. But we had you just plastic weights, and you just went down and did some curls, and didn't have a rack back then or anything. Didn't even know how to squat. Didn't even see a picture of that. I mean, just just do something. I did a lot. I had these springs. I'd use like these chest flies, and I did 2 push-ups every day. So just that kind of stuff, but just kind of did something.
Yeah.
Did something. So get some stuff for home, or just go someplace. And if you're shy, or just do something, get some of yourself and start in that way.
Well, you even mentioned, like, off camera, like even grabbing like soup cans.
Oh yeah.
Soup cans, or you could use a jug of milk, or I guess maybe fill it up with water so it doesn't go bad. It's about 5 pounds right there.
Yeah. I mean, just grab something. It doesn't have to be, if that's all you have, just use what you have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's my message. Everybody, just you got to adjust. It doesn't it's not like what if it happens. It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of it's when it's going to happen. So, but don't quit. Just do what you can, and still try and enjoy it. That's the whole thing.
Yes. Yeah. You got to make it enjoyable and worthwhile. Otherwise, you're going to learn to resent it, and it's just going to be that much easier for you just to give up on it.
Yeah.
And I've even experienced that in my own training, where like I kind of almost got stuck in a rut, and it's just like, I got to do this today again. I don't want to do that. It's just, you have to get creative and find ways just to, again, challenge yourself. Again, like Rex said, like set those goals. Be obsessed with the goals that you have, and just find a way to achieve them. And while also like keeping in mind that this is a long game, and keeping longevity of it, and making sure that the decisions you're making inside and outside of the weight room or the gym is gonna go along with your long-term goals, not just your short-term goals.
Yeah. And Chris, I think one I'm not gonna say mistake. One thing people do that gets them in trouble, they put their goals too high.
Mm-hmm.
And we just come out of the New Year's resolutions, and I don't have those. I don't believe in them.
Yeah.
I think it's wonderful. On March 10th, if I think I'm going to try this or do this, okay, I'll wait till New Year's. No, I'm going to start March 10th.
Yep.
Or if it's November, and because you see the gym memberships up and down, and they even laugh on the news. But I wish they wouldn't do that. So I was always, everything in the gym did them away and stuff. Well, I'm going to stick it out and encourage them to come. That's how they want to get started, as a New Year's resolution. I think it's wonderful, but don't set them too high.
Yeah.
I see that all the time, and tell people, I'm going to try. I got to lose some weight. Okay, they just I'm do the treadmill for 45 minutes. How about 10? How about 4 or 5? I ride my exercise bike every night for about 3 minutes. Because I've already done my rows and stuff just the end of the day, and I'm not real balanced good on my bike, so I got an air bike like you have there, an assault bike. I put my feet on the pedals, so I just arm it. I do 3 minutes, and that's all I do, about 3 minutes.
That's a workout.
Sometimes I not real fast. Not real fast. Sometimes 4 minutes, but so if you say 3 minutes, that's nothing. But I did it early in the morning too. But if I put down 15 minutes on my bike, 8 o'clock at night, I'm tired, I cut it short. So 3 minutes, I can do that. And I do it.
Yeah.
Am I a winner or loser? I mean, I'm still doing it.
Yeah, that's a winner. I mean, like 3 minutes, that's like barely longer than an average commercial break, with a TV show. So it's like, I mean, everyone's got that amount of time that they get dedicated.
Yeah, that's just one little example. Just kind of, I say, if I go up to 4 minutes, usually no more than 4, because I did my 30 minutes early that day and stuff. So just to wind up, because I got the bike, and I'm not going to put it in the corner and forget about it. So there's so much stuff in people's basements they have, for example, and it just sits there. Well, they got the fever to buy it, and as long as you bought it, use it. Try it.
Yes.
But see, they took off too much of a plunge to do the odd these minces, and they got the goals too high, and it turned into a job, and they just let it go.
Yep.
I think that's what I see a lot of, and that's my opinion anyway. Just
and I have a fairly similar opinion, but it does vary a little bit. I do like having like a big goal in mind, but it's like, okay, this is like maybe the long-term goal, or this is or the end goal maybe. But before I even get anywhere near that goal, I'm going to set up maybe a couple, like a very, very short-term goal, like let's say the 3-minute bike ride, or like, okay, 3 months from now, maybe I can get it up to 5 minutes. And then 6 months from there, maybe I can get it up to like 8 minutes, and then just start incrementally trying to increase that goal. With the goal of maybe making it 20 or whatever it is. Yep. Just as like, okay, like, cause it's, also like the thing is like, okay, like, here's my short-term goal. Once I reach it, it's like, oh shoot, now what? I didn't really think about that. It's like, so it's like, okay, I want to think about this one goal that right now it seems completely unattainable or out of reach, but I'm going to try to like build a game plan of, making baby steps towards that goal, and still realizing I'm still accomplishing something. Even though if I'm not exactly where I want to be, I'm getting closer to that goal.
Yeah. So as people have different jobs, they have different, and it just can't do what he does, because you have an easier job than what he does. It's just, there's so many factors, but actually people, they got to sift through that and just do what's best for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I mean, everyone has different experiences or different obstacles, or a different story where it's like, like your goals might be completely different from my goals, but it's still important to both of us. So it's like, maybe one person's goal isn't as high and almost maybe seems too obtainable to the next person, but it's like, you don't judge them or don't think negatively of that person for having different goals, or what you might see as lesser goals than yours. It's like, it's still goals at the end of the day, and they're still doing something.
Yeah.
That's still working towards something.
That's just it. So
going back to the New Year's resolution thing, it's like, and people in the news laughing about it or whatnot. It's just like, I also dislike that, because, you'll get that attrition, or you might see those people, they start strong and then they may fade off, but you also will see those people that started and then they never stopped.
Yeah.
And they made life-changing.
I think it's,
they made a life-changing transition. It's just like, but like, if you discourage those people from the beginning, like, they may never even start.
Yeah.
And they may not, they may be like too embarrassed, like, oh, well, like, what's the point? Like, I'm not going to be able to stick with it anyways. They've already counted themselves out before they even got started.
Yeah, and we all had our first day at everything.
Oh yeah.
The very first time, if it was lifting or your job, you don't make fun of somebody and say, well, no, wait a minute, you had a first day too. Yeah. Remember? You had a first day in a job where you didn't know nothing.
Yep.
Now you're an expert, but just calmly, just give him a chance.
100%.
Give him a chance.
Definitely. Yeah, and I don't want to keep you too long, with this. Like,
no, I'm really coming down, Chris. Because what you do here at Iowa Strength is great.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Rex.
I encourage you and support you.
You always have from day one. I can't tell you how much that meant to us and still does. Do you have any other suggestions or ideas or anything that you'd like to say to everyone?
No, if people can work out with somebody, a partner or something, it's wonderful. My wife does some fitness class up at Jessup School, and she has a partner, Anna from Dunkard usually. And if Anna can't make it or Jean can't make it, well, I need a partner, because sometimes it's maybe Mitch or something with boxing.
Oh yeah.
So just a partner, so we'll just jump in. But people have a certain partner, and they kind of drive each other. So I got to be there. I promise you'll be there. So that's important too, if that is possible.
Mm-hmm. I bet Jean could throw a nasty right hook, can't she?
Oh. They always tell me when somebody's partner couldn't come and jump on my partners that come today. Okay, so they just take off. Like, hey, wait a minute. You can do something yourself.
Yeah.
My partner's not here. If you're going to max out on the bench, I just go in the gym. We had the business there. Just partners in here. I want to max out. And went real big. Told girls, I'll be in there. Just call me when you're ready for your lift. And I can spot them.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't. I help you. Don't walk out the door.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, I can't tell you how many times a week I get asked, like, people like, hey, like, can you do a lift off or can you spot me? It's like 100%. Absolutely. That's like half of my job. Like, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Just help. Just help when you can.
Yeah, for sure. Now, if there's one message out of this whole conversation, or one thing, like, piece of advice you'd like to give to someone, that may be transitioning or getting older in life, and is at that brink of maybe having to modify their workouts or change their workouts, what's one piece of advice that you would like to leave them with today?
Learn by your mistakes. A mistake helps build anything, because you learn something. If you never try something, people that are afraid to step forward, they're going to fail sometimes. They're discouraged, but it's also a learning process. I've started and stopped and fell down, got up, that kind of theory for all my life.
Yeah.
I mean, if I meet that perfect person, I'd like to meet him.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'd like to meet him.
Yeah.
But just get a positive attitude. Just get a positive attitude. That's what the lifting has helped me with, is just exercise. I feel good. I just do positive things. I think positive. I just going from a little house in the prairie. Another thing, I saw a show where Michael, the father, that show, but his dad, wife passed away. He used to be like Michael's mother, and dad just sloughed around. And finally, one day, he just got mad at his father and he says, "You're wasting the life God gave you. You're wasting." And it brought the dad out of it, because he just slumped around. He felt sorry for himself. He said, "We miss mom. You miss your wife. The daughters miss their grandma. Don't waste the life God gave you."
Yeah.
That's why I do these wild things. I told you about putting my Jurassic Park I'm working on. I tell my wife, she says, "What are you doing now?" I said, "I'm not wasting the life God gave me, Gene." I fall back on, that's my excuse. She goes, "Okay."
Yeah. Well, I mean, you do a lot for, you live in Jessup, and it's a small community, but it's a very, very close community. And I feel like, anytime anyone brings up Jessup, or I bring up Jessup, you get brought up. And it's like, you do.
Let's hope not.
you do a lot of positive things, it seems like, for the community. It's just also like, it's not just creating a legacy for yourself, but also a legacy for your family. And it's just something really special that, like, I personally kind of look up, to you for a lot of things. And that's one of those things, is like just leaving that legacy and leading by example and through positivity, instead of, versus, the opposite. What could be the opposite of being like a bitter, closed off person, or more taking more away than you are giving.
Yeah. That's another thing. Yeah. Just try and be a giver, not a taker. And this, if somebody needs some help them. I mean, we always believe in that. So I just want to fight to the end. That's what I want to do. Just hang in there.
Yeah. Rex, with that, I think it was a good conversation.
Well, thanks for taking me down.
I appreciate you
having me. Thank you so much, and
thanks
for all you do for your community.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate everything that you do as well, and the support that you show. Always look forward to everything.
So, Seth, if you don't come back, I got your chair, buddy. Sorry.
You heard it first.
It feels very nice. So.
Well, usually we have the couch in there, but like, I wasn't sure, like, if you'd be more comfortable on the chair or on the couch. The couch is really, really low. I actually had to get some 4x4s and sit it up on, because otherwise, like, I felt like my knees were at my chest. Like, so I set it up on some 4x4s, but it's still kind of low. And Kilo's been laying on it and sleeping on it, so it's got hair and drool on it. So it's like, let's just get the chairs in here for today. These are actually a little bit more comfortable.
Very, very. But yeah. So you have a nice weekend.
You as well.
I do some fun things.
A lot of house projects.
Yeah.
I asked Sarah today. I'm like, what? I'll stop this. I asked Sarah today. I'm like, well, what's your plan